What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's Thirsty Thursday. It's actually raining here on the East Coast, a lot of rain. You got the Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And what I've talked about in recent weeks with part of our problems with Jerry Jones, who is the GM of the Dallas Cowboys, is Jerry Jones is old. Jerry Jones is old. You know, it's kind of like getting your grandpa to learn how to use an app. I have a hard time with like new technology when it comes out, and I'm only 59 years old. When it comes to my dad, you know, the reason why he doesn't see Thursday Night Football is because he can't figure out how to get the app work. I go ahead and give him password for Amazon Prime and everything. Oh man, that's just too much. But I'm sitting here. I'm in the kitchen at the Red Brick House. Okay, I'm very proud of this place. I'll be honest with you. You know, I think this is an incredible looking kitchen and stuff. There's plenty of space to work in here. If you've seen my cooking videos or my channel and things like that, you've seen some of the kitchen and stuff. But there's an island that's right here, so you can be sitting here watching me cook and things like that, and I can literally throw, like we're at one of the Benahanas or whatever, I can throw a shrimp at you and stuff. Probably hit you in the face and not get close to your mouth, but I can do it. And you got the TV over here so we can keep up. Now I was in the kitchen here getting some more coffee, and I happen to have Pat McAfee on, and they have Kansas City's GM that I've never heard of, Brett Vetch. And they're talking about building the team and how veterans want to come to the team. I just want you to listen to what a typical GM is. Oops. If I figure out how to make a play. Okay. Play.
Hey, that just kind of smacked me in the face. Why is this team so good? Why do they always win? Why is it? You guys got Hall of Famers falling out of the closets over there. Yeah. That's awesome. Good for you. And you're going to be. Good for you, Brett. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, why doesn't everybody do that?
Sure.
Why doesn't everybody just do that entire thing? But with all of that being said, it is a little different life. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Brett, you talked about reimagining the team through free agency and even at the trade deadline. It seems like whenever there is like a marquee aging superstar, you guys are mentioned as a team. Hey, he wants to either get there or the Chiefs are interested in him. We saw it this year. You know, I mean, obviously you end up getting DeAndre Hopkins, but then Cooper Kupp is linked to going to the Chiefs as well. When you get in a situation like that, is it more difficult or easier when Kansas City becomes a location for guys to want to go ring chasing? Because obviously you kind of have your pick of the litter of all these good players, but then you also have to potentially limit, hey, if we bring this guy in, we run the risk of, ruining our culture.
Well, I think, to the first part of your question, it certainly makes it easier from the standpoint of, I think in general, most players want to be here, and typically when you get the different points of the season, whether that be in the off season or at the trade deadline, and I think we do hear a lot of, if everything is equal, he would love to play in Kansas City. So I think that playing for Coach Reed and playing with Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, I think it would certainly be a destination for any player that had a chance to potentially move on and go somewhere else. It is difficult though, just because when you do have a lot of these higher paid contracts, that we only have so much flexibility and wiggle room. And it's a little tricky too, because when you have a player like Pat Mahomes and your goal is to every year, make the playoffs and compete, there's that fine line of
your goal every year is to make the
also
playoffs and complete.
understanding, how you're going to put this team together in the future. For example, we have a pretty good roster. Again, a lot of football left, and we'll see how the season plays out. Hopefully, we can stay healthy and have a shot toward the end. But looking forward to the off season. I mean, we're going to have some really good players.
Uh-oh. It froze up. Now compare that. We're streaming and it's raining
That
outside.
are free agents. You talk about Trey Smith and Nick Bolton and Justin Reed, just to name a few. The reality of it is it'll be hard to retain all those guys. Hopefully, we have a chance to retain a couple. But with that being said, it will be hard to navigate a free agency class, if you will, because you won't have that kind of money because it's tied up into current players and hopefully players that you can keep and retain. So the bulk of your free agency or the bulk of your acquisitions are going to come from your draft. And so, it's that fine
We know
line
that, but
older players wanting to come here, but also knowing that they come with a contract and also you're going to have to pay a draft pick to get them there. And also know that you might not have money in free agency to spend next year and you're going to be relying on those draft picks. So it's, that's why we were fortunate we were able to, execute trade with Tennessee that gives us some flexibility. We can retain our top, for our first, second, third round pick. And listen, we hope it is a fourth round pick because that means we're winning. But we also have to be mindful of what's on the horizon, not having a ton of money to spend in free agency and really have to rely on those draft picks. So it's one of those things I don't think from a culture standpoint we're concerned because we have Coach Reed and the bar set super high. And I think there's an expectation, just like when Bill Belichick had players back in the day with New England. I mean, they've always found a way to make it work. And I think by and large, we'd be able to do that too here because of the culture here, because of the players we have here. I think the more difficult thing is just, the assets required, to get these players, or the assets needed to acquire these players is a difficult part for us just because, you have one eye on the future and, one eye on the current season. But, I mean, we try to be aggressive, and I would say this year, obviously, knowing what's at stake, we've tried to kick that into gear, and, we're able to add Hopkins, we're able to add Uche, and, we had conversations with New Orleans about Lattimore, and, Washington stepped up to the plate, and a 3 and a 4, that's a lot, especially for a team that, in the Chiefs that are going to need those picks next year. But, we were certainly in those conversations too. So we're going to be as aggressive as we can, but also,
somehow it's not
try to be
syncing up.
as responsible as we can.
As you broke that all down, it sounds so easy, man. Figure it out.
Yeah, come on.
Figure it out, man. It all sounds so easy. You made a trade on draft night last year, and obviously that made some waves because it was with a rival. So I ask you this weekend, are you just going to walk over to Bean and punch him in the face?
No, certainly not.
What's that? I thought we had a rivalry.
Do it.
Let's punch each other in the face. Let's do that.
Those guys are
not synced up.
I mean, Coach McDermott's another guy that I've worked with in Philadelphia too. So I mean, Coach Reed has that tree of coaches that never seem to end. But class organization and just an awesome opponent. And every year, you feel like Lamar and Josh Allen. I mean, those are the teams that you have to go through. We had to do that last year, and it was very difficult. And it's no different this year. I mean, those teams will be the teams we have to go through, and you throw in a Pittsburgh and throw in a Houston. It's a gauntlet. And a ton of respect for Buffalo, and as coaches say, look forward to the challenge.
I think you forgot a team. The Indianapolis Colts.
Oh.
The Indianapolis Colts. We got it all in front of them.
I'm going to leave it right there. But see, you can see the difference of Jerry Jones being the GM versus Brett over here, this guy who's probably half his age, and understanding that he understands the cap and the ramifications on it and the draft capital and everything else. They're literally doing circles around the Cowboys. When you have people actually calling the Cowboys about players like DeAndre Swift and things like that, that Stephen Jones is saying like, who? We'll call him back and won't call him back. Or when you think of what they traded for DeAndre Hopkins, he recognized, hey, we were able to keep our first, second, and third round. He said, hopefully we lose our fourth round because that means he really played really, really well for us. But then you see the Cowboys literally giving away guys like Amari Cooper for a fifth, and then trading a four for Jonathan Mingo. That's our problem, people. That's our problem. You need somebody who's young, who knows how to use apps and things, being your GM. And tonight, unfortunately, we have the pain of watching Washington and the Eagles actually playing for a meaningful game. Let that sink in, Jerry. Peace.